Real Madrid. Founded in 1902, yet still the most hypnotic club in world football. A place where legends are made, and where careers are redefined. Welcome to Football Lost Tales. Today we look into some of the finest players from England who wore the famous white of Real Madrid and how did their careers unfold after joining them. Trent Alexander-Arnold isn't the first Englishman to wear the famous white of Real Madrid. He's the eighth. But how did the others fare? From Galáctico Glory to, why did they even sign him? This is the full story of England's unlikely love affair with the famous whites of Madrid. But as always, before we start, please be so kind into liking and subscribing to the channel so that it reaches more viewers like you. Thank you. At number 8, Trent Alexander-Arnold. After spending 20 long years at Liverpool, who developed him into a world-class defender. Trent ran his contract down in order to play for the famous white of Real, as the allure of the Bernabeu side was too much to resist. Trent has stated that he wanted to win the Ballon d'Or at Real as part of his decision. Whether this happens, we will just have to wait and see. At number 7, the Jude Bellingham era. Jude Bellingham didn't just arrive at Real Madrid, he conquered it. A 20-year-old with the swagger of Zidane and the numbers of Cristiano. But how did a kid from Birmingham become the heartbeat of the Bernabeu? Bellingham didn't just break records, he rewrote them. Midfielder, striker, leader. Madrid's most expensive English signing was also their most unpredictable. Scoring 20-plus goals, more than Zidane ever scored in a season. Clutch moments that saw him coming up with 5 game-winning goals before December. While fan chanting, "Hey Jude," louder than "Holla Madrid." At the moment, he is looking like the most successful English player ever to play for Real Madrid, but only time will tell. Number 6. The Beckham Mania. It was the summer of 2003. The world watched, the cameras flashed, and football changed forever. One of the most iconic transfers in football history was about to happen. Manchester United's poster boy, David Beckham, was joining the Galacticos of Real Madrid. Florentino Perez had a dream: to assemble a team of global superstars at Real Madrid. Zinedine Zidane, Luis Figo, Ronaldo. And in 2003, the final piece of that marketing puzzle was David Beckham. After a rocky relationship with Sir Alex Ferguson, which famously ended with a flying boot in the dressing room, Beckham's exit from Manchester United was inevitable. But while Beckham impressed individually, the team struggled for consistency. The Galáctico project had star power, but lacked balance. His debut season saw flashes of brilliance, long balls, inch-perfect passes, that signature bend. In his very first La Liga match, he scored just 3 minutes in. During Beckham's 4 seasons in Madrid, trophies were scarce. Despite the immense talent, Real Madrid didn't win La Liga until Beckham's final season, 2006-07. At the end, he only won one La Liga title and one Spanish Super Cup, 2003. No Champions League, no Copa del Rey. For a club like Real Madrid, that was a disappointment. But at the end, the Beckham deal was one of the most commercially lucrative for Real Madrid. Resulted in record-breaking replica shirt sales. News reports from the time stated that the club's main souvenir shop sold 8,000 shirts bearing his name and number, 23, on his first day alone. This surpassed the sales figures of previous high-profile signings, and even the club's second and third team shirts were quickly sold out. The demand was so high that the initial supply was exhausted, and it was impossible to buy a number 23 shirt in the club's shops in Madrid on that first day. At number 5. The Owen experiment. He was England's golden boy, a Ballon d'Or winner at just 22, and in 2004, he took the leap. Michael Owen, from Liverpool to Real Madrid. But what really happened in that whirlwind of a season? Let's unpack the one-year Spanish adventure that left fans asking, what if? The football world was stunned. Owen had been Liverpool's star. But with just 1 year left on his contract, Madrid made their move. Arriving in Madrid wasn't easy. Owen was soft-spoken, humble, in contrast to the superstar aura of his teammates. language barriers, cultural shock, and competition for places made settling in tough. With Ronaldo and Raul already occupying the forward roles, Owen found himself mostly on the bench in his early days. But when chances came, he made them count. Owen may not have started every game, but he was one of the most clinical players in La Liga that season. 2004-05 season. 13 La Liga goals. 16 goals in all competitions. 20 starts. 1 goal every 123 minutes. His partnership with Ronaldo was short-lived but electric. His pace, timing, and poacher's instinct made him deadly, even with limited minutes. In the end, Real Madrid finished the 2004-05 season trophyless. Barcelona were rising under a young Ronaldinho, and Madrid's Galacticos were aging. Owen's only taste of success came in individual moments, his derby winner against Atletico, a crucial El Clasico equalizer, but no silverware to show for it. It felt unfinished. Owen left Madrid with 16 goals, a good strike rate, but also with what-ifs. At number 4, the most underrated Galáctico, Steve McManaman. He was the Scouser who took a leap of faith. No agent, no transfer fee, no hype. Just talent, confidence, and a dream. Steve McManaman, one of the most underrated success stories in Real Madrid history. Many doubted the move. English players didn't often thrive abroad, especially not at a club like Real Madrid. But McManaman was ready to rewrite that story. He didn't speak the language. He wasn't the flashiest name, and most thought he'd be a squad player. But Macca wasn't there to sit on the bench. He was there to compete. From day one, McManaman impressed with his work rate, creativity, and intelligence. He brought something rare to Madrid: selfless running, vision, and a team-first mentality. Then came his defining moment. May 2000, the UEFA Champions League final in Paris. Real Madrid versus Valencia. In a game full of stars, it was McManaman who stole the show. A stunning volley for Madrid's second goal. He ran the midfield, controlled the tempo, and lifted the European Cup. He became only the second Englishman ever to score in a Champions League final. McManaman wasn't done. He went on to win 2 La Liga titles and 2 Champions League trophies in 4 seasons, a golden era for Los Blancos. 2 UEFA Champions League, 2 La Liga, 1 Spanish Super Cup. He played a key role in squad depth and harmony. On the pitch, he was consistent. Off the pitch, he was respected, humble, and professional. But soon, Florentino Perez launched the Galactico era. In came Figo, Zidane, Ronaldo, Beckham, and while McManaman was still reliable, his minutes began to shrink. He refused to leave, choosing to fight for his place. Even as a rotation player, he never complained. He never gave less than 100%. Eventually, in 2003, McManaman moved on, joining Manchester City. But he left Madrid as one of the few foreign players to earn real respect at the Bernabeu. At number 3, Gareth Bale. The rise, the goals, and the fall. He was once the most expensive player in the world. A flying Welshman who scored screamers, won Champions Leagues, and delivered in the biggest moments. But by the end, he was booed, benched, and preferred golfing over playing for Madrid. In 2013, Real Madrid signed Gareth Bale from Tottenham Hotspur for a then world record fee of €100 million. The pressure? Immense. Fans expected goals, trophies, and magic. And Bale delivered all 3, fast. 2014, Bale scored one of the greatest goals in Copa del Rey history, sprinting from the halfway line to beat Barcelona. A month later, he scored in extra time of the Champions League final against Atletico, helping Madrid lift La Decima, their long-awaited 10th title. Over the years, he added more iconic moments. A stunning volley in the 2018 UCL final. That bicycle kick versus Liverpool. A brace in the 2014 Club World Cup final. Real Madrid career. 258 appearances. 106 goals. 5 Champions League. 3 La Liga, 4 Club World Cup. But with greatness came setbacks. Injuries haunted Bale's career. Muscle strains, calf problems, and long layoffs meant he often missed crucial games. Slowly, fans grew frustrated. The media turned on him, accused of lacking passion. Rumors swirled. He wasn't learning Spanish, he didn't bond with teammates. He was more interested in golf. In 2019, Bale was seen celebrating with a Welsh flag that read, Wales, Golf, Madrid. In that order. It was meant to be light-hearted, but it backfired. The Spanish press went into overdrive. Madrid fans felt disrespected. Zidane, who never truly trusted Bale, left him out more and more. Gareth Bale's Real Madrid career is complicated. On one hand, a modern legend, one of their most decisive big-game players ever. On the other, a fractured relationship, lack of discipline and underappreciated. But one thing's certain, in Madrid's greatest era, Bale was right in the middle of it. Love him or criticize him, he delivered when it mattered most. At number 2, Jonathan Woodgate, the unluckiest signing in Real Madrid history. He was one of England's most promising defenders, calm on the ball, great in the air, and destined for the top. In 2004, he signed for the biggest club in the world, Real Madrid. But what followed was one of the most cursed transfers in football history. By 2004, Woodgate had already built a strong reputation in England. He'd impressed at Leeds United and Newcastle. Real Madrid needed a top centre-back, and despite being injured at the time, they took the gamble, paying £13.4 million for the 24-year-old Englishman. Fans were excited. A solid English defender, calm under pressure, just what Madrid's backline needed. But there was one massive problem. He never played a single minute in his first season. His thigh injury was worse than expected. Months turned into a year, and still no debut. Spanish media started calling the signing a disaster. Rumors of setbacks, failed recoveries, and lost fitness filled the headlines. Then finally, 13 months later, he made his debut against Athletic Bilbao. It was one of the worst debuts in history. He scored an own goal, and was later sent off. Despite the nightmare start, Woodgate didn't give up. He worked his way back into the team and actually played some good games. His performances in late 2005 were solid, composed, disciplined, and smart. But the injuries returned again. And by summer 2006, Madrid gave up. He was loaned back to Middlesbrough, then sold permanently. Woodgate never fulfilled his potential at Real Madrid. He only made 14 appearances in total. But the story isn't just about failure, it's about bad luck. And at number 1, the forgotten black pioneer of Real Madrid, Laurie Cunningham. There was a quiet, graceful footballer who broke through the noise. His name was Laurie Cunningham, and he wasn't just a great player. He was a trailblazer, the first British and one of the first black players to wear the white shirt of Real Madrid. In 1979, Laurie Cunningham did something no black footballer had ever done before. He signed for the biggest football club in the world. At a time when racist chants, monkey noises, and banana throwing were normalized in European stadiums, Laurie dared to shine. His flair, elegance, and power caught the eye of scouts across Europe. But it was Real Madrid who made history, signing him for £950,000 in 1979. Spain in the late 70s had never seen a player like Cunningham. He was fast, he was fearless, and he was black, playing in a league where racism wasn't just common, it was expected. Yet he silenced it all, with skill. In his first season, he helped Madrid win La Liga and the Copa del Rey. And in a legendary match at Camp Nou, after tearing Barcelona apart, the home fans gave him a standing ovation. For a black man to be celebrated by rival Spanish fans in 1980, that was unheard of. Just as he was reaching greatness, injuries struck. Cunningham missed months, and though he returned, he never regained the same form. Madrid moved on. But Laurie, he never stopped fighting. Laurie Cunningham passed away in a car crash in 1989, aged just 33. But his impact never faded. He proved that black players belonged at the top of the football world, not as entertainers, but as champions. He didn't just play for Real Madrid. He broke racial barriers at one of football's most conservative institutions. He opened the door for future generations of black players across Europe. This was the story of Laurie Cunningham, the quiet revolutionary, the pioneer Real Madrid couldn't ignore, and football history must never forget. Had you heard of Laurie Cunningham before today? What do you think his legacy means now? Like and subscribe for more true football stories that deserve to be heard. Hit the bell so you don't miss our next episode, because football isn't just about goals. It's about people who changed the game.